I was 16 years old when I came into the prison system. My name is Roberto Lopez Rios.
I was 16 when I first came to prison, a month after my birthday. Jason Williams.
I was 14. My name is Jerry Vang.
I really wasn't feeling nothing, I could say, because I was like numb to everything, and I didn't know what I was going through or anything else, what anybody was saying to me. Nobody really explained nothing to me, so it was like, you're in jail, that's it, you know what I'm saying? Just deal with it,
At first, I was just puzzled, not knowing, not being able to grasp the reality of the situation that I was in, arriving to prison with a life sentence.
It was coming down that, I believe it's Highway 10. You see that big old wall, and then we turn onto the street, and it's just like a medieval castle, you know what I'm saying? And that right there was quite intimidating. And just seeing and hearing doors clanking, locking, and guys yelling off the tier, it was scary for me.
I felt scared. I felt alone. I felt abandoned. At that point in time, I didn't know what exactly I was feeling, but now that I'm older and I can reflect back on those times, I was lonely, I was scared, I was sad. I missed my mom.
When I first came in, I was a little scared, because you're around grown people, that they know what they think, they know how to feel. I don't know what to think or know how to feel about situations. I would just see fights and I was like, what's going on? I didn't know. Everybody else around me knew what was going on except me.
You just gotta keep moving and watch yourself, you know what I'm saying? Because you're in a whole environment with, grown men, and you're just a kid.
When you come in here and you get thrown into prison, there is nobody trained to deal with a child's mentality. So you're left alone to deal with all these things, and your standard is based on a system that was designed for adults. Every treatment, every program, the time, the meals, everything's designed for a grown individual. So therefore, the needs of the children that come in so young are not met.
Because there was nobody my age there at that time. Nobody I could talk to. Staff didn't know what to do with me. They even said, we don't know what to do with you. We don't know where to put you. We don't just stay out of trouble. That's the only advice they gave you, stay out of trouble. But when you're messing with other guys, you're just trying to fit in with everybody because you don't know what to do, you get in trouble.
I was a young kid with big dreams. I became a young father. I went back to school. I wanted to be someone in the Latino community to kind of push forward better morals and values for some of the Latinos, because I know in my struggles growing up, seeing my brother get locked up when I was 12, it did something to me. And I was lost.
I was hoping I was really into accounting. My mom was an accountant, so that was part of my hopes and dreams, to be an accountant. And then I was really good at school. I just got lost somewhere, rather mess with my friends and forgot about school and everything. So but I still had dreams of, doing something better than what I was doing,
I don't know if I really had any dreams then, because there was a lot of things going on in my life, and I was still trying to figure it out.
What kind of stuff was going on in your life?
Well, just the instability at home, and a lot of things that were going on in the streets with myself, and I was lost. Like I said, I was trying to find myself, and yeah, I I was lost.
When I became a father, I realized that there was a better way of life. And I wanted to explore that. Whatever that norm was, I knew it was better than the way I lived and grew up. So when I went back to school and I was trying to get everything together to set a better example for my daughter and pave the way for her having a better life, I got caught in the legal justice system.
You know, my parents came from Laos, so, you know, the way they grew up was different, you know what I mean? And yeah, I wish I could have done, you know, a lot of things when I was young, but my opportunities wasn't there for myself.
It was just a sense of finding comfort, belonging, and safety among my peers, I guess you can put it, in the Latino community. And I found that in the streets, in the way of life that my older brother was living. And there was a lot of abuse, a lot of violence, and thus surviving was the only way. And what that consisted of is adapting to those ways of life in order to make it.
Well, what would help me is probably if there was people around me that were like me, you know what I'm saying, that been through what was going through, that could talk to me, could help me out. You know, I think I was the first person in my family that ever like been in prison, been in trouble. So my family didn't know what to do, you know? So I didn't have nobody to talk to, understand what I was going through at that time. You know, school tried to help me out a little bit, but they couldn't even understand what I was going through. You know, I was frustrated, you know, mad. I didn't understand what was going on half of the time. So I just lashed out, you know, and did stuff that I shouldn't have been doing.
I just learned to value life, you know, and I learned a lot. Like I said, that, and you know, like my values, morals, mean a lot more to me. You know what I'm saying? Because growing up, I didn't have much of that, and you know, nobody really showed me. So, yeah, that's the main thing. Is, you know, my values, morals. You know what I'm saying? All those things changed since I've been in.
I was a director over in Oak Park Heights, and she told me, she said, I don't care what you're in prison for, but when you're here, I'm gonna make sure you get some education. And I always respected her for that because she always was there to help me out.
I feel upset, disappointed, because I wasn't able to live up to what I was trying to do, to be a father to my daughter, to provide that other way of life. The whole situation, I mean, I didn't comprehend the seriousness of the things that occurred or that were about to occur. My mental state was not at that stage to understand the possible outcomes. But you live in a world where some things are just so normal that you don't think. And the influence that the outside environment has on you, you don't realize.
How I felt about what got me here, I avoided it at first. I avoided it for a long time. And then when I went to my first 27 review, and I had to explain everything, and it was just so much stuff built up in me, and I could feel myself wanting to cry because I was like, that's not me. Why would I do something like that? And I could feel pain, and it was just so much. And then it was so much that it came out that the psychology was seeing that, and she was like, I can see this is something you need to deal with. This is something you need to accept. So she told me, tell your story. Start telling your story to people. So once you start telling your story, it'll be easy for you to learn how to accept what you did. You know, so that's what I did. I started telling my story to people, and helping them understand where I came from and why I did what I did. I mean, what I did was wrong. It was wrong, and it hurts me to this day that I did what I did. But I can't change the past. Only thing I can do is work to the future, and whatever I can do to help the future, help anybody coming in here, I'm gonna do. I don't want to ever see nobody go through what I did, go through everything I did at all.
So what could have helped to prevent that? I'm not sure, because I couldn't understand the full extent of the situation. And how do I deal with it now? Well, I work on myself. I try to remain positive, hold on to the little bit of humanity that I remember of who I used to be, try to be a good father. I educate myself. I'm trying to make this time count in a positive way, to where I can impact other individuals for a better way of life. And that's the way I come into terms with it, in order not to kind of fall into that, I don't know the exact word for it, but it's to make this and the situation count for something positive.
Because it was all about self when I first came to prison. Then all of a sudden it was like, now help others. You have accountability to help others. Do that.
I know one thing, that kids don't belong in prison. That experience was so traumatic that it took many years for me to actually come into terms with it. And even now that I'm here years later, 20 years later, it's still hard for me to understand, how can you do this to a child? And from the material that I've been reading and what I've been looking into, I've always known that it was wrong. And I know people out there know this is wrong, but no one's really stepping up or saying anything about it. I guess they figure if you don't pay attention to it, it doesn't exist. But it does exist.
We want to start programs that will help them guys. You know what I'm saying? So we can sit down and say, we've been through what you've been through. Don't think we haven't. We're trying to teach you another way. Unless you want to stay here forever, we're trying to teach you another way. So we need more groups that will help them, to help rehabilitate them. Because when you catch them when they're young and catch them away from their friends and everything, they're willing to learn. You know, they're willing to change. It's just hard when you don't have that, and the only thing you do have is your friends here, and they want to hang with their friends, and it messes them up. It messes them up. The streets is not successful. Get out of the streets and find something different. Find some type of something you like, that you want to build and you want to keep building, and you can be happy. You know, not them streets. It's not where it's at. You know, just yeah.